Cancer. Excuse me. Welcome back to the channel. I'm just going to do a little bit of a December forecast. This is being done just a little bit after the beginning of December, so maybe it's for the second half of December. Take it however it resonates for you. Obviously, these readings are timeless. I don't know. I don't usually need to say that to people, but there's a reason that I need to say that. Like, these readings, it doesn't matter when you see this. It doesn't matter if it's December. The energy that's present right now in this kind of forecast for what's to come in this kind of, I just see this like enclosed time period. So it's like within the month. It's almost like that's part of your message. Like Spirit wants you to detach yourself from time and like linear kind of perspective. Maybe that's what this month is going to bring for you. It's detaching from, it has to be this way. It has to be this way. Okay, so I also have, coming into this reading, I've had the song in my head. And I get messages through music and it just won't go away. So I know that it's meant for you. And it's by Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I Had Some Help. And it's just the same line over and over again. I had some help. I had some help. I had some help. It ain't like I could make this kind of mess all by myself. There is a certain level of like radical responsibility, that 144 on my recording, that you need to take for yourself and other people will be taking for themselves. And so it's like owning your own role in the breakdown of a relationship, or why you were reprimanded at work or something like that. It's like this relationship it's like you blame me and I blame you, but really at the end of the day we're kind of both at fault. So when you're on this journey, on this like spiritual ascension journey, it is all about bringing it back into yourself and say, okay, what was my role here? Part of your role, and part of what I think you're meant to learn this month, is to not allow others to project their energy on you. Look, you can't just blame me here, okay? It has to come from a place of, I will own what I did and the fact that this thing went wrong, or that I did these things and I did these things. Yes, I'll accept some of that, but I will not accept the fact that it was all my fault. And not receiving that. So someone else's truth is only your truth, or someone else's judgment is only your truth if you accept it. There is a certain level of whatever it is that someone else is wanting you to take responsibility for, something that someone is blaming you for. There is a certain level of ownership to some of that it's important for you to take a step back and look at. But it's like creating that boundary too that says not all of that is mine. Some of that is your issues. And the fact that you can't see yourself and you think that it's all my fault, that's something on you. And I do not accept that. That's not fair. It's not okay. And that's something that you need to work on. Whether they do or they don't, that's not your responsibility. It's about the energy of creating the boundary for yourself that says, I'm not going to accept all of that blame and guilt and shame and all of that, like in the past maybe you would have before. Cancer, emotional, fluid, really open. I just see this energy in you that you wear your heart on your sleeve, and it's very empathic. Like you who are here right now, whether you're Cancer or wherever Cancer falls in your chart, it's like super open and emotional. And in the past, especially the empath in you was taken advantage of, and people would dump their shit on you. And you would take it because it's like you didn't have the emotional fortitude or stamina or emotional intelligence, or that's the past. This month, I feel like there is a lesson coming in. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Like laying those burdens down. Not letting That, the way that it played out, the way that someone else put their stuff on you. I feel like this is a buildup over time too. Like you as an empath, you absorb a little bit of this person's stuff, whether they're blaming you or they're just like venting to you about something in their life, because you are the recipient of that unbalanced energy in order to help, to hold space, to be the container for someone to release something that it's like your healer's heart. You absorbed a small piece of that without realizing it, without balancing it, without like kind of blocking yourself to, this isn't mine though. Let me not take it into my heart though. You're such a bleeding heart and you love so deeply that when other people tell you their pain or tell you what they're going through, there's a little part of you that is in pain for them and with them. And it chips away at your heart. When at the end of the day, none of that was yours. So it's been this buildup over time. I just see all these wands, and it really is time to release the stories that are not yours. Some of this stuff is people projecting on you and saying you did this or you did that or you're this kind of person or they treated you in a certain way that made you think that something was wrong with you or something like that. There's guilt. There's definitely guilt there. But it's like none of that was really who you are deep down. Some of those things too that people are blaming you for, there are certain things that you need to take responsibility for. So there's guilt that you have in ways that you acted, ways that you reacted, that you know were coming from a place of overwhelm or overstimulation or trauma or fight or flight or whatever. And in the moment, I am not proud of how I acted in that moment. And there's guilt towards that. And the other person is angry about that, or they think that it's almost like it defines you in their eyes because it was such an impactful moment for them or something like that. And there's this thing in you that's just like, but it's not me though. It was me then. It was me in that moment. It was the part of me. It was the wounded part of me. There is a part of you that needs to embrace that wounded part of you, but to help her to, she's wounded because she's been like, I just see all of these arrows like shot at her from other people. There's this buildup of this overwhelm of other people's energy over time that was projected on her or him, however it resonates for you. That needs to be released, and there's guilt and shame that's been put on you from other people. It's like this buildup. It is a buildup. It's like you need to fortify your walls. First, you need to release whatever is not yours. We have a full moon coming up right now too. So it really is important to really shine a light on what those things are that are not yours. Those parts of your personality, those ways of expressing yourself. When I get in that moment, when I get overwhelmed or I get angry and I express myself in it, just like sharp kind of way, that is not me. That's not me underneath of it. That is the influence of my dad, who, and it's what I learned as a child, that's how you express your overwhelm. It almost takes over your psyche. There was trauma imposed on me in those tiny little moments because of my little empathic sensitivities. And I'm Cancer in Venus. So it's like, that's what I received. That's how I received the way he felt about me. That's how I received love. Or that's how I received how he felt about. That's what I thought. He thought of me. Was that I'm a bad girl, or I'm a terrible person, or because that energy affected me so much deeper than it would somebody else. I took that on as my truth. And so there are like little truths, little judgments from other people that were embedded in your energy field that are not, it's not your truth. And it's time to stop playing out those traits. They're not you. It's like in the moment this thing takes over. It's really important to see those things, to own them, to not have guilt surrounding them, get curious about them. I really do feel like there's this curiosity about, where is that coming from? That's not mine, and it's not who I want to be. And I, underneath, know that it's not me. So let's get curious about, where does that come from? Whose was that? And that's how you give it back. That's how you're like, oh, well, that was theirs. That's not mine. It's not mine anymore. And I'm not going to take that energy and pass it on to somebody else by playing out this pattern. I'm not going to put that anger and that guilt and that rage and that shame on my kids or my boyfriend or whatever it is. That's not fair. It's like radical responsibility. So you have to own a certain thing about a way that you're acting, a way that you're reacting. Know that it's not yours, but you have made it yours by playing it out, by enacting it, by acting on that unhealthy expression or whatever it is. Right? There's a certain thing here that you do or have done in the past that was put on you, and it's really time to bury it. So the Ten of Wands in every card is different, or every deck is different. There's another deck here. I don't think I have it here right now. And I'm pretty sure it's the sister deck to this one. This one feels very masculine to me. This is the Arcanum deck. And I have one that is the Thelema deck. This one feels very masculine. The Thelema deck feels it's like its counterpart feels very feminine. So it's almost like you need to put down these distorted masculine traits that come from your experience of masculine in your life. That's what they imprinted on you. In the feminine deck, the Ten of Wands, I feel like it's a man on the card itself, but is burying these wands. It's like it's being put into the earth. I feel like the feminine has buried her wounds. So he's holding on to these, and he is almost like running with them. That feels like the radical responsibility. Maybe she was digging them up. Maybe she wasn't burying them. Maybe she was digging them up. Maybe it's time to dig up, get under the surface. Get under the surface and like really find where these patterns come from. It's important this month that you do that because we have a full moon coming up, and I think that there's something about Jupiter and the moon conjuncting, maybe. I don't know enough about astrology, but I know that I'm just seeing Jupiter. There's something about Jupiter and the moon together. Jupiter expands and amplifies energy. Or whatever is present. So the moon sometimes is super emotional. So a lot of times during a full moon, the full moon will amplify emotions and energy, and Jupiter is going to tenfold that. So it could be really intentional, an approach in the middle of this month when I don't even know when the full moon is. Doesn't matter, you guys will know. To like really be intentional and allow the amplification of those emotions without unhealthy expression of them. Get curious about them, because there's going to be something like sadness or loneliness or rage or sometimes even joy, if it's like it's an emotion that's coming out, and whatever the emotion is that comes out, it will be amplified. And so you're going to be able to notice really, really nuanced things about it and like ferret out where it comes from and listen to it and what it's telling you. What is it telling you? There's someone else's energy, or there's something from the past that is amplifying this loneliness, amplifying this sadness. And it's helping you to find where it is, whose it is, to help you say, I don't accept that. That's not all mine. That's not all mine. Recognizing where you took it on as all yours. I think it is really going to help too. Oh yeah, the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Cups. This is what's underneath of it. So 10. Maybe the energy started around the 10-10 portal in October. This is the energy that's holding it all up. This is what's hidden. Okay. It's coming in really fast. Joy will be amplified at some point. Joy. What you want. Happiness. It's almost like I just did a reading yesterday about it's sitting right in front of your face. Happiness is sitting right in front of your face if you would just let yourself feel it and amplify it. I don't know, there are these broadcasts that come through on these broadcast channels on Facebook Messenger. And one of the messages that came through says, shame is the emotion killer. So anytime it recognizes joy, happiness, flow, it will attack it and knock it down, because it's like, how dare you feel those things? Who do you think you are? You're a shameful person. Like, you don't deserve to feel that way, to succeed, to be glowing, happy, blah, blah, blah. Let me see what it says. I want to see specifically what it says. Shame monitors positive emotions. And this is by J. Mike Fields. That's his broadcast channel. Shame monitors positive emotions, your joy, peace, and happiness. Peace more than anything else. So chaos comes in and it's just like, no, that's not the status quo. That's not what we're going to do. That's not how we're supposed to experience life. That's what someone else told you. That's what someone else's overwhelm told you and put on you. When you feel joy, when you feel this youthful kind of spirit, someone comes in and says, you're immature. Because they can't maintain a frequency of joy because of their own shame. And so then they try to bring you down to a place that feels more comfortable for them, because it would force them to change, to like really face themselves in order to get to that place of joy. So they try to have you meet them where they are and put shame on your peace, your happiness, your joy. And in a lot of ways, you let them. Feel too much and this is shame. Feel too much and it halts those sensations, sending the message that you're undeserving and not enough. Shame on you. Shame is the magic killer. The next one that he sent, I feel like this one is the important one, but the next one that he sent says, experience anger Experiencing anger is common during integration and healing. You will begin to recognize boundaries that need to be established. Although you may lose many people throughout this process, you will reclaim your soul and authentic self. Keep your head up and feet under. There are far better things ahead. So when anger has to be expressed in a healthy way. When not triggered in the moment, but looped around and witnessed and expressed in a way that says, this is the thing that you said to me or that you did to me, and it's not okay. In the moment, in that trigger, in that someone is threatening, pushing against your boundary, they are a danger to this boundary that you have created. Step away from it, dissipate those energies, and then loop back around and say, this was not okay. This was not okay. And it may be that you need to cut ties with certain people. There is a fear there that you will lose them. That is the energies of the past. And losing them was blamed on you. The degradation or the ending of a relationship was blamed on you. And you took that and made your boundaries fluid in certain ways because to avoid feeling the shame of something ending because of a boundary. Again, feeling that again. It's because you accepted their shame, this is like narcissistic, empathic dynamic. That's like what this whole reading is. It's like there's so much healing here this month for you towards that, not just narcissist, but avoidant, anxious attachment dynamics, and you absorbing and attracting negative energies to you that just dump on you. There's a lot of healing in this for you. And it's like empowering you to face your fear of loss, face your fear of the energy of that shame coming towards you, and stand right behind your shield, your boundary that says, that's about you, that's not about me. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to own and I'm going to figure out what this is showing me, what the lesson is, what I need to adapt in myself, because I'm not afraid of changing. I'm not afraid of accepting responsibility for a sort of expression or energy that I was in that is not true to me. I will own that expression, and then I will find the pattern and I will shift it and I will let it go. I will not allow you to add on another burden, another thing that I need to carry, another aspect of shame and projection because you're unable to look inside of yourself. I will not accept another bit of that because I can't carry that load anymore. That is not your responsibility, Cancer empath. Yes, I will accept the truth that I created a boundary and let it be fluid. That was my bad. I let you back in again. That's mine to face. But I'm not going to allow you to project and add to the pile. Okay? That leads to, I'm just seeing this magic for, it's like this door is opened. There's like this portal. I'm seeing it right at the beginning of the new year, like 1/1 or it could be 1/11 too. I'm seeing 1/11. Throughout all of next year into October of next year. It's like this healing process that begins this month where you start recognizing those patterns, releasing them, like recognizing where they come from, owning the way that you played it out, and then releasing them and like giving it back to the past, moving forward. It's like this process, this peeling away of all of those different burdens and the burdens of shame and other people's truth and other people's judgment and this like culturally familial, religious, created self that's not true to you. There's this unveiling that's happening all year next year. And each time you peel away something that was put on you, another part of you, the authentic you, is revealed, and you like glow. There's this like glow up process. There is family involved in this, and there is this divine kind of connection. If you're in a relationship already, it's not you versus me, it's us versus the problem. It becomes this partnership and this team approach that it never really was underneath of the surface. It never really was that. It will start to become that. Or you will move out of that because that is the only way for you moving forward. It's like you're moving on to a new timeline. Anything not in alignment with that is going to fall away. But you're going to recognize where those energies were a result of you accepting someone else's perception or truth about you. Right? And accepting someone else's truth. Like the way that my dad acted, that was the experience that I had. And in certain ways, that's how I act too. It's like a redefinition almost. You get to choose what you replace that with. Be very intentional with what you replace that with. Now, the full moon is giving you the opportunity to do that because you can also set intentions, recognize those emotions, replace those, wherever that sadness, wherever that loneliness comes from, replace the story that it's telling you or has been telling you. It's like your little inner child is telling you she's lonely because everybody hates her, or like, someone will leave her, or she's scared to be herself, or I don't know, she's scared. You can replace that with, I'm always with you. I'm safe. I'm protected. I am always connected. Whatever it is. There is a chance for like real peace. This is the energy of that thing that I was just telling, those emotions, joy, peace, happiness. That's this card right here. Do you see the energy of that being expressed like in relationship? Like I will have joy, peace, and happiness when I experience that balanced dynamic. You have to experience that in yourself and let yourself be those things. Don't allow shame to dictate and squash and kill the magic of those energies. Allow yourself to be those, to feel those, to sit in the middle of those and enjoy them even for that one little moment. It then creates this environment around you that then is the expression of that part of you. Someone will be there who mirrors that in you. Even when they are sad, they can still feel peace. They can still feel joy, peace, and happiness, even when they're witnessing their sadness. Because it's a learning opportunity, because it's beautiful growth, because they know that something is shifting, because they embrace that part of their spirit and their quest. It's part of it. And so for you, like moving into that mindset, sadness isn't a bad thing. Loneliness is not a bad thing. It's just communication. It's just something is communicating to you. Let's be curious about it. Let's learn from it. Let's go to class. Like sadness is your class. Some of you need to watch the movie. And sometimes this is about the holidays. Like the holidays bring on this sadness and loneliness. Okay, so, what is that communicating to you? Something about taking on the holiday spirit, allowing yourself to feel the holiday spirit and where that comes from. Some of you need to watch the movie Inside Out too. No, yeah, Inside Out too. The way that joy and sadness intermingle and learn from each other and merge, essentially. Not just joy and sadness, there's the other emotions there, but that's the one that stands out because sadness keeps coming up. This month, the sadness. You're going to find out, Cancer, where the sadness, where the loneliness, if that's what you experience, or even where the joy comes from. Because you also get to, like, you lay down the burdens of things that don't serve you, but you also get to embrace the things that do serve you. So the influence of other people that were really beautiful influences. And it's not just noticing, like, distorted masculine energy. It's like embracing the really beautiful parts of masculine. I just texted somebody today about let's embrace and celebrate the masculine. So when we release the burdens of those masculines we experienced, and feminine too, take it however it resonates for you. Release those projections of toxic masculine energy. It frees up space for witnessing and noticing and not closing off to all masculine energy altogether. It's like I can't even notice any good things about my dad because there were like so many projections and so many, all I can focus on is all the bad things and blah, blah, blah. Those are mostly the experiences that I had, or those are the ones that I remember because shame is the magic killer. So the joyful moments, the peaceful moments, the happy moments that I experienced with him or noticed about him, that's really what I need to focus on because there was, healthy masculine energy in there somewhere. So let me witness that. It was all overshadowed by the impact of, like, it impacted me so much deeper, the traumatic moments, than the peaceful, beautiful moments. So making way and setting the intention to amplify those aspects, those characteristics, even about yourself too. It's important to do that. So this full moon with Jupiter, I guess conjunct with the moon, is giving you the opportunity to amplify those emotions too. You get to choose to do that. So sit with intention in that. Cancer, I feel like you, like, especially emotion-wise, I'm just seeing like a lot of emotion. You have the ability to impact so many other people around you with the work that you do on your emotional intelligence, your emotional expression, your wisdom when it comes to emotions and what they communicate to you. Okay? Okay, so that's what I got. If you want a private reading, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that, like, business stuff. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified anytime I have new readings coming out. I have, typically daily tarot readings, and look back through all of my videos and just if anything in the titles stand out to you, make sure that you click on that. There's got to be something in it for you. Please comment down under the box, in the box below, and let me know, like, how this resonated with you. And yeah. If you are interested in a private reading, my information is down in the box below. You can either purchase one off my website or you can email me and we'll do a one-on-one reading. Okay? All right. Love you guys.